I can't say enough about Samaritan. They are better than family.
They had so many different pieces of care for a hospice patient.
And they had that personal and compassionate touch with it.
We're thankful to be able to walk with them in that journey.
We honor veterans as a partnership. It started between National Hospice and Palliative Care Organization and the Veterans Administration. There's different levels of involvement and tasks that need to be done, along with education, and really bringing in the interdisciplinary team to make sure that we are honoring veterans from every aspect of our care.
We're a 4-star provider of veteran services for hospice. We do the military checklist on all veterans. That's one of the things we do. So we're basically assessing to see what they need. We're encouraging them to tell their story if they want to tell their story. And then we want to honor them. We want to honor them for their service. So we do an honoring ceremony.
I called on Samaritan when my dad was diagnosed with lung cancer. He served in World War II. They came out and presented him with a blanket. They showed gratitude for his service. So not only were they taking care of him medically, but I think through his mind, spiritually, just everything. So they were there and just made him feel like he really made a difference.
For many of the veterans, it's a way of saying thanks, not just from Samaritan Healthcare and Hospice, but on behalf of our nation. Many times some of our veterans are dealing with some of the things they had to do. They may or may not have dealt with that. So if there's a post-traumatic stress disorder that they may have never been identified, we want to help, and we do offer the counseling services. It's a great relief for them, and to acknowledge that what they did was because of their country and that they believed in the United States of America and what they were doing.
My first experience with hospice was when my husband was in the hospital and being referred by Dr. Spagnola. He was one of the very first African-American pilots. He was very proud of his accomplishments. Even in his last months of living, he was able to articulate that. He had a hospice military volunteer that came to the house. Claude was his anchor, I suppose, from the military connection. So every person that came to my home to take care of my husband did it with grace, did it with dignity, with love, and caring hands.
Claude Schmid definitely stands out probably as a hero in my own book because of the way he made my dad feel.
I've been volunteering for Samaritans since 2014. Nature's God has given everyone a story, and if you sit with a veteran, you're likely to find some extremely unique things about him. So I believe it's somewhat of the connection that a veteran has to another veteran and the opportunity to bring out some stories that perhaps they haven't spoken of very often.
My wife and I got associated with Samaritan by her getting ill and being diagnosed with an inoperable cancerous tumor in her liver. When she passed away, I decided to get in touch with Samaritan to see what I could do to help, and I became a volunteer visitor. I was drafted November the 11th, Armistice Day, 1943. We had to have trust and be responsible for our buddies. That trust and responsibility for others still exists. No man is left behind.
We want our community to know that we are here, so that if someone is coping with a serious illness, we want them to call us. Let us talk with you. Let us see if we can help your family.
I chose Samaritan Hospice in lieu of flowers because the organization is vital and essential to families and those patients who are in end of life.
Absolutely call them. You don't have to do it alone.